Most people think weight loss is just about eating less, but the real challenge begins after the deficit starts, because the body immediately begins adapting to defend the weight it had before. Hunger increases and metabolism slows. So the real question becomes, how do you lose fat without triggering the strongest biological backlash? Or in other words, how do you lose fat and keep it off? That's what we'll break down in this video. The goal in weight loss isn't just to reduce body weight. It's to reduce fat mass while preserving lean muscle mass and metabolic rate. So, 5 things become especially important here. Number 1, adequate protein intake. Higher protein intake supports muscle retention during a deficit. It can stimulate natural release of GLP-1 hormone and helps to keep you full, better than a shady online supplement you can buy on Amazon. Preserving lean mass helps preserve resting energy expenditure or resting metabolic rate. Protein also has a higher thermic effect of feeding compared to carbohydrates or fat. This means protein produces the greatest increase in energy expenditure after meal consumption. Number 2, resistance or weight training exercises to signal to the body to preserve lean muscle tissue. Muscle tissue is metabolically active. If you lose significant lean muscle mass during dieting, resting energy expenditure declines further. That makes long-term maintenance even harder. When you lift weights, you're essentially sending your body a memo. Muscle is needed, please don't delete. That reduces lean mass loss, helps partition nutrients toward muscle rather than fat, and improves insulin sensitivity. Less muscle loss means less metabolic slowdown. Number 3, a moderate, sustainable caloric deficit, rather than extreme restriction. A small, consistent energy deficit produces fat loss while minimizing extreme hormonal backlash. Rapid weight loss often comes with disproportionate hunger and metabolic adaptation. Slower loss, roughly 1 to 2 pounds per week, is not weakness, it's strategy. Crash dieting is like flooring the gas in a parking lot. Impressive for about 4 seconds, then you hit a wall. Number 4, intermittent fasting or time-restricted eating. When you go for several hours without eating, insulin levels fall and fat oxidation increases. The body gradually shifts towards using stored fat for energy. For many people, extending the overnight fast to a range of 12 to 16 hours reduces overall caloric intake without requiring meticulous tracking. Intermittent fasting doesn't override energy balance in and of itself. But for some individuals, it simplifies the process of maintaining a caloric deficit. Like any strategy, its effectiveness depends on whether it helps you consistently consume less energy over time. Number 5, maintain movement. As weight drops, non-exercise activity naturally declines. Being intentional about daily movement, for example walking, standing, just general daily activity, can help to counter that unconscious reduction in activity. The objective isn't perfection, it's sustainability. Fat loss is not about suffering through the largest possible deficit. It's about creating a deficit that your physiology can tolerate long enough to reach your goal. And then, critically, transitioning into maintenance before biology overcorrects. Because maintenance is where most people tend to struggle. Not because they don't know what to do, but because the body is still trying to restore what it lost. There's one more layer that often gets overlooked in weight management, and that is sleep and stress. Sleep deprivation alters hunger hormones and appetite signaling, leading to increased hunger and food intake. And this has been consistently shown in experimental sleep restriction studies over the years. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, and yes, that includes doom scrolling at midnight when you know you should be trying to sleep instead. Guilty. And cortisol increases appetite, food reward sensitivity, and central fat deposition when energy intake is high. It also worsens sleep, which compounds the problem. When sleep is poor and stress is high, maintaining a deficit becomes physiologically harder. It's not impossible, but it's a bit like trying to parallel park while your car's on fire. Technically doable, not recommended. Weight management is not just about calories and exercise. It's about creating an internal environment where the deficit is tolerable and sustainable. Sleep and stress regulation are part of that environment. And in the future, we will have dedicated videos diving deeper into these topics. Weight management is not just about calories. It's physiology and biology. The goal is not to fight against biology. The goal is to work with it. So, if weight loss increases hunger, if metabolism adapts downward, if the body actively defends stored fat, then an obvious question emerges. Can we modify that biological response? Can we make the deficit easier to sustain? In the next video, we'll examine GLP-1 based therapies more closely. We'll review what they actually do, physiologically speaking, and where they fit into the system of weight regulation. Because weight management isn't just about willpower. It's about understanding and sometimes strategically modifying biology. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing. I post videos just like this every week, focused on evidence-based explanations of metabolic health, without fear, blame, or oversimplification. I'm the Science MD, and this is the science behind your health. Thanks for joining, and see you next time.